Okay, so today we're tackling a topic that's, well, let's just say it's not exactly light and breezy. We're doing a deep dive into love. The real kind, not this stuff of Hallmark movies.
Sounds intriguing.
It is, and maybe a little daunting. We're looking at this article, 7 Harsh Realities About Love You'll Only Understand Through Experience. And let me tell you, the title doesn't mess around. No sugarcoating here.
Right from the get-go, it's clear we're diving into the deep end.
Exactly. And you know what? Sometimes we need that. We need to ditch the rose-colored glasses and get real.
Couldn't agree more. That's where genuine connection starts, wouldn't you say, when we drop the facades and expectations?
100%. And the article wastes no time getting to the heart of it. The first point.
Yeah.
We often fall for the idea of someone long before we actually know them. It's this whole,
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. It's like we create this fantasy in our minds, this perfect image. We fill in the blanks, right, with our own hopes and assumptions.
yes, it's like we fall in love with a mirror image, not the actual person.
Yeah.
And that can lead to some serious disappointment down the line.
Absolutely, because guess what? Reality has a way of showing up. Maybe not in the most glamorous packaging.
Wearing sweatpants and mismatched socks, probably.
Exactly, and that's when it hits us. Love isn't about finding the perfect person, but about seeing the real person, flaws and all, and choosing them anyway.
Such a powerful point.
Yeah.
And it segues perfectly into the next harsh reality. This idea that often our desire for connection, well, it's not totally selfless.
Oh, this is a big one.
Right. We bring our own baggage to the table, our own needs, our own insecurities.
Think about it. We crave love, security, validation. Those are all deeply human needs.
Exactly. And sometimes, maybe even subconsciously, we're hoping someone else will come along and magically fix those things for us.
It's like we're looking for a solution outside of ourselves when true fulfillment comes from within, from doing our own inner work.
Man, that is so true. Okay, brace yourself, because this next one is a tough pill to swallow. The article doesn't mince words. Hurting each other, even in the healthiest relationships, is practically unavoidable.
It's inevitable, really. I mean, think about it. You're two individuals, two completely separate histories and perspectives, trying to build a life together.
And all while navigating the ups and downs of, well, just existing. Life throws curveballs. We make mistakes. We're not always going to get it right.
Exactly. It's not about if we hurt each other, but how we handle it. Can we communicate? Can we offer and receive forgiveness? That's what determines the strength and longevity of a relationship.
It's about the repair, not just the rupture.
100%. And it's in those messy, imperfect moments that real intimacy is forged.
You know, it makes you realize that this whole fairy tale notion of love being all sunshine and roses, it's just not realistic. The article talks about this too.
Yeah.
How that initial intensity, it's not sustainable long term.
Right. The honeymoon phase eventually fades. Those butterflies, they don't stick around forever.
Thank goodness. Can you imagine?
Right. It'd be exhausting. But seriously, the beauty of love is that it evolves. The passion might ebb and flow, but there's a deeper sense of commitment and connection that emerges over time.
It's about finding comfort and joy in the ordinary everyday moments. Sharing a cup of coffee, doing the dishes together, those little acts of service and presence.
Exactly. And you know what else comes with that deeper level of connection? Vulnerability. Real, heart-pounding, slightly terrifying vulnerability.
This one resonates with me. The article talks about how opening yourself up to love also means opening yourself up to the possibility of loss, of rejection.
It's a package deal, isn't it? You can't selectively numb yourself to the fear without numbing yourself to the joy, to the intimacy.
Wow, it's like this constant dance between wanting to protect our hearts and wanting to let someone in completely and unconditionally.
And that dance, it never really ends. Even in the most secure, loving relationships, there's always that element of risk, of choosing to be brave with our hearts.
Okay, this next harsh reality really hit me hard. The idea that love, as powerful as it is, might not always be enough to sustain a relationship.
The myth of love conquering all.
Right. We're conditioned to believe that if the love is true, everything will work itself out. But you and I both know that's not always the case.
Sadly, no. Sometimes, even with the best intentions and the deepest love, life throws curveballs.
It's like the article says, we need compatibility. We need shared values, healthy communication, mutual respect.
And even then, external factors can create obstacles that are difficult, sometimes even impossible, to overcome.
It takes wisdom and courage, I think, to acknowledge when love on its own isn't enough. And maybe, just maybe, letting go with love is its own form of strength.
Beautifully said. And that brings us to perhaps the most profound and universal truth of all, the reality of our own mortality.
This one's always a bit of a heavy hitter, isn't it?
It is, but it's also a gift in a way, a reminder to cherish the present moment, to love deeply without reservation, because none of us know what tomorrow may bring.
It's like this unspoken agreement. We're all in this together, walking this journey of life, love, and loss.
And in that shared experience, in those raw, vulnerable moments, we find meaning.
This whole deep dive has been incredibly insightful, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Eye-opening even. It makes you realize that real love, the kind worth fighting for, isn't about avoiding the hard stuff. It's about facing those challenges head-on together and using them as opportunities for growth.
So as you go about your day-to-day, maybe take a moment to reflect on what you've heard. And if you're feeling brave, ask yourself this. What's one small step you can take today to embrace the full spectrum of your own relationships? The messy and the magical, the joy and the heartache.